Alright, welcome back to Rock U, where music is easy and fun to learn. I'm Jake, and today I'm going to do Go Your Own Way by Flintwood Mac. Okay, to start this groove, what we're going to do is we're going to start with quarter notes on the bass drum. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and none of this groove is played on cymbals. There's no hi-hat, no crash, no ride. It's all played on the drums, just going around the drums. So like I said, we start with quarter notes on the bass drum. So now let's add, little by little, the parts of the hands. So the first thing you're going to do on beat 2 is you're going to play what's called a flam on the snare. And a flam is basically when you play both hands that are almost at the same time, but not quite. That's what a flam is. So in an orchestral world, what you do with the flam is your right hand or left hand would be up high, and your left hand would be low, and you get a sound like that. Because we're playing rock music, we have both hands up high, but we still want to get that ga-dunk sound. You don't want it to open, otherwise it sounds like two notes, and you don't want it to close what's called the double stop. It kind of cancels out a lot of the tones of the drum, makes it sound weird. So you want a little bit separation in them. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on beat 2. So all we have right now is quarter notes on the bass, beat 2 on the snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy so far. So the next part, you're going to take both your hands. You're going to move into the high tom and the floor tom. So tom 1 and tom 3. And you're going to play that on the and of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So put that with the bass drum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so last thing you're going to do, since that's on the and of 3, now you're going to keep your right hand here. You're going to move your left hand over to tom 2, and you're going to play just your left hand on the and of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1, 2, 3. And the reason you're not playing these two hands together is because you can play your right hand on beat 1 with the bass drum. So it's going to go 4 and 1. So one helpful tip that'll help you really get a feel for this drum. You want to be able to do a quarter note bass drum and play whatever you want on top of it. And the way for me is how you get there is, let's say you're playing this and you're practicing, you got that quarter note bass drum going along, but let's say your hands mess up. Let's say you play a wrong note. Never stop this. That's what drives it, right? Because I have a lot of students, and even I'm guilty of this too, where you play in this, and then you mess up, oh, I'm going to start over. That doesn't really help you with the coordination. So what I want you to do when you're practicing this, if you're having a lot of trouble figuring this out, keep that quarter note going and take it part by part. If you can't quite get that and of 3 yet, don't worry. Start with just this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And don't worry about how long this takes you if it takes you a long time to figure it out, because you're playing it right. You're figuring it out correctly. So by the time you get it, could take 2 months before you figure this out, but you know it perfectly, front and back, by the time you get this. So you have the whole groove playing, and you don't even have to think about this. That's where I want to be as a drummer. I'm not even thinking about this. Right? I can do all that sort of stuff while I'm not even thinking about this. And that bass drum is still going. And that's where you want to get. That's a good way to figure that out on your own.